The Russian Defense Ministry has announced the country's armed forces successfully completed its tasks set for Thursday. The ministry said several airfields, command posts and other military infrastructure in Ukraine were destroyed. Russia launched its special military operation on Thursday morning, crossing into Ukraine from multiple directions. Ukrainian Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal says the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in the north of the country has been captured by Russian forces. The United Nations Atomic Energy Agency, the IAEA, is calling for maximum restraint to avoid actions that could put Ukraine's nuclear facilities at risk. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has ordered a full military mobilization. Guy Henderson reports from the capital, Kiev.
Well, after nightfall here in Kiev, the distant thud of shells can still be heard across what is a fairly ghostly city now, because at 4:30 in the morning, Russian missiles rained down on parts of Kiev. That, as the sun rose, led to people scrambling for their vehicles, grabbing what food, water, fuel they could get hold of, and hitting the road in their tens, maybe hundreds of thousands, to try and find safety outside of Kiev. For a time, we were amongst that stream of civilian vehicles as it moved very slowly out of the Ukrainian capital to the west. But then, almost out of nowhere, a Russian military offensive began against a major Ukrainian military base in the northwest, to the northwest of Kiev, about 10 kilometers up the road from where we stood. But what it meant is that the Ukrainian military then blocked the road. We then saw streams of Ukrainian tanks heading on to that military base to repel that Russian attack. And it meant that the road was entirely blocked for civilians for some time. So at that point, we turned back. But after nightfall here in Kiev, there will be still many people, I'm sure, without necessarily having a plan, not necessarily knowing where to go, perhaps even still on that road, trying to find safety out of Kiev. Guy Henderson, CGTN, Kiev.
I'm doing okay. As you can see, I'm safe. Actually, I'm staying near Kiev. That's the capital of Ukraine. So I'm staying like in a village that's very close to the city. Staying here with my family, my wife and relatives. Well, actually, I live in Kiev, but I moved here just to be safe. I actually woke up. We had those sirens in the morning, and I thought it was just like a false alert or something. We did have like backpacks ready to go off, but we didn't expect that happening just overnight. And we thought that the situation is getting de-escalated, but we, well, that was wrong. The guys in the streets, all the civilians. There is no panic as such when we moved from Kiev downtown to here, the village near Kiev. There was no panic. We have the internet connection for now. We have the mobile network. I actually made a few calls to speak with my mom, who is in Kiev, and my dad to make sure they're okay. But of course, they're worried.